What's up everybody, my name is Timo and today we're going to talk about how Snapchat streaks kill Snapchat in Serbia. So what do I mean by Snapchat streaks kill the Snapchat in Serbia? So you know how when Snapchat was created, it was different from all the other social media because it was personal. You know, you couldn't become somebody's friends unless they want you to be their friends by giving your Snapchat ID. You had to type the perfectly what their nickname is, otherwise you couldn't find them, and it was hard to predict what somebody else's nickname was. There wasn't a quick add, there wasn't a suggested, there wasn't nothing. It was really private and personal. And when somebody did send you a snap message, it was instantly open and everybody replied, and it was really personal and behind the scenes of your life, and it was amazing. And then it started developing, and now in Serbia it's fun, it's cool, it's trendy to build Snepstreaks with people and to have as many as you are. And with some people I have more than 160 and I never saw them in my life. Literally never saw a person in my life, but it's what people do right now. So it become so out of touch that my roommate just got home. It got so out of touch that, and also people realize that you don't have to open their message to keep the streak going. And right now I'm snap streaking with 80 people and I don't open 70 of those. It literally, I have still messages for like 4 weeks ago that I haven't opened, and there are like 5 or 6, maybe 10 people whose messages I do open because I care about them. And right now, even if you send me a message and you're one of those 70 people I haven't opened your last message, I wouldn't know you personally texted me because it's hidden behind the other stuff. And on one side, it's a bad thing because it got so, how do I say it? Not personal. It's like, why bother? But that doesn't mean Snapchat's dead. It means you just have to become better, more valuable. Why would somebody open your message? What's the difference between your message, which is important and personal, and difference between every other message? People send a blank screen with flames on it to indicate, the streak thing. And, it's a different game you have to figure out right now. And it's good and bad thing, but it's evolving, it's same with email. I remember when people were like forwarding emails. Right now, like, you don't forward an email unless it's from your boss and you have to forward it to somebody else. It's like that. It's evolving. But what you could be doing is going on Instagram, because Instagram hasn't become that out of touch like Snapchat has, and it's still open. Every single message people reply to, and that's fun. And there's close friends on Instagram, and I know, like, whenever I see a green bar, I was like, somebody thinks I'm their close friend. It makes me feel valuable and special. Unlike Snapchat, where there's like, oh yeah, you're just sending this to me because you want this number to be bigger. I'm no longer Timo on Snapchat. I'm like 163 flame dude on Snapchat. Like, my job on Snapchat is to boost your ego. I'm not an ego booster. You understand? Like, I'm not a number next to that little flame or donut or dress or you can change the flame. There's this one girl that has like a devil face. I'm not a number devil face. I'm a person. But you don't look at me as a person, you just look at me as the number, and the bigger the number is, you can bring to other people. So when you get like 100, it's like a milestone, and then people would screenshot and share it that they have 100 with somebody, and then 200 and 300 whatever. And I'm like, why would you brag that we have 100 flame streak? We don't even talk, we just collect. It's that state of the internet, and that's what people do, and that's what killed the Snapchat in Serbia. It's fun, and now you have to be creative. Why would somebody open your message? Why would somebody consume your message? Why would somebody reply to your message? And that's on you to choose. Like, you have to be interesting. But how does one learn to be interesting? Well, they don't. You don't learn becoming interesting. You unlearn being boring. You know, I post about books. Whenever I start reading a new chapter, I take a picture of the first page, and that's boring, right? And the reason why I'm doing it is I keep myself accountable to everybody else, because I do want to read every single day. And this way, when I'm like not posting about reading, I feel like I'm letting people down. But it's a different story. But like I said, I do it because it keeps me accountable to reading every single day. But for you to just see a picture of a first page of a book, it's just boring, right? But then I like try to type something in, or maybe play a music, or maybe put my Bitmoji, or tag a place where I'm reading a book or something like that, to make it different from everything else, you know. And I try to make it fun or goofy or something like that. I try to make you laugh, and that way you'll come back, you'll open it, you'll read it, you at least open it, you know. And then maybe later I should like ask for interaction on my posts, you know, maybe swipe up or comment or like, or I don't mean actually like, but like those slide likes, or maybe like question left or right or something like that, to make it interactive. Otherwise people just passively consuming or not consuming at all, and we don't want that. Like, it's our job to produce content that's valuable to our followers, our, you know, customers, and we want them to interact with those. Otherwise we go to what's known as Instagram black hole, and there's also other names for other social media, and you get left behind, you get forgotten. And if you are a nightclub or restaurant or any other business, you can't afford to be left behind. And you know how you get left behind? If your engagement rate is not high enough. You know, if you have passive followers, it's literally better to not have followers than to have passive, or, you know, disengage, or like people who don't comment on your stuff. It's just better to not even have them. So that's what I do every 4, 5, 6 months. I would like go to my followers and be like, oh, and I would delete followers from my Instagram account, because it's literally hurting me to have people with fake accounts, deleted accounts, inactive accounts, stuff like that. So I'll just delete them from my following. I know it sounds rude, but that's how Instagram, Facebook, and other social media works. It's just, you have to have high engagement and content and content and content and content. So how do you know people don't consume your content? So I've been living here for 2 weeks, and I have also friends from my hometown that live here right now. And every single day I would post a picture, a photo on story or something from this town, and I would tag this town on. And after 2 weeks, I ran into my friends. He was like, why are you here? Because we met in downtown. I was like, I'll live here for 2 weeks. He was like, really? I didn't even know you are here, let alone living here. I was like, how's that possible? Every single day I was spamming for like 2 weeks. And that's because people just don't see, don't consume it. Or even if they do, they forgot about it. And that's why you have to be active. You have to like come back and remind them and share them and like hook them from different stories and different perspectives. But if it's boring, if it's like everything else, if it's dull, if it's repetitive, if it's not engaging, then people will just like forget about it. So that's why this is the valuable lesson we got to learn from Snapchat, is that if you allow people to not be personal with you, they will not be personal with you. You know, because it's easier to consider somebody a number, an emoji next to it instead of a person. You know, I know back 2 years ago, I would send a message to somebody and then I would immediately send them a message on Snapchat that says, I bet you will reply on Snapchat before on my text message. And they would. Like, people would prefer opening a Snapchat message over a text, WhatsApp, Facebook message, Instagram DM. That's literally how it was. And not just here in Serbia, the same thing happened in America. I did the same thing. But now people don't even open your message on Snapchat because you're just a number collector, ego booster. I know it's crazy, but that's what the state of the internet is. So that's what we have to learn from it. We're not here to complain that this is how it is. It already became like that. It won't be changed for the next couple of months. That's what it's trending right now. And we have to learn from it, unless people actually want to consume our story, our message by providing value, being interesting, funny, or maybe you're none of those, but you're the first one to have a story, you know? Maybe you go to different events and you share those, and that's what people want to watch. And that's why they will consume actively your message. And then on all of your content, you have to ask them to engage with it, you know, as a sales message, or you have like a call to action where you want them to click this link, opt in for a form, buy this thing, buy it. On social media, you have to ask for engagement, to like the photo, to comment on the photo, to share the photo, or you put the little ask me anything bars on your story, or that slider thingy, or maybe you ask them to prefer to vote on left or right, or blue or red, or something to keep them engaged. You always put text on your story, and if you can, you also add music on it, because you can then create a video out of a photo, and now people would stay longer on your content. That means they'll actually consume it, not just click next story. And that's the lesson that Snapchat taught you through me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a rating and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.